Hello, everyone. My name is Greg Bernard. I'm a co-founder of a few social media platforms. I would say that most would be surprised it even exists. Our story was profiled in Black News, Black Press, Black Enterprise, ABC, NBC, Telemundo, and that's just to name a few. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about um, what the video is going to talk about. Why community matters. It's providing an array of platform ownership percentages of various types to communities to grow a stock faster than any stock ever created. And that's enough that will blow your mind. This is better than any multi-level marketing, GoFundMe, Bitcoin, or crowdfunding. It's no quick get-rich scheme. It's just a problem solver who sees the need while understanding that the power of virtual artificial intelligence and this new normal has to start with us. So my community matters is answering the call without the greed. And we're talking about platforms with majority ownership going to its communities versus corporations. Just imagine if all of us had part ownership of some of these platforms that are out here, and you're getting resources, residual resources, each and every week, each and every month, each and every day. That's how big businesses are winning, while we're left with the penny stocks. Who will give you majority ownership of a stock that's just going live? We will. Virtual branding solution. And let me say something about sheep. Been hearing a lot about sheep lately. Every sheep needs a shepherd. It doesn't matter whether it's a good or bad shepherd. But the question now becomes, now that we have a solution, because we're bringing it to you right now. Everybody asking, I don't know what the solution is. There's a lot going on, but we don't know what the solution is. Well, we're bringing you a solution that you can look at and you can see for yourself that it works. But the question now becomes, now that we have a solution, what type of shepherd will you be or become while your sheep continues to follow you? Sheeps are they're followers, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a sheep. Sheeps are in politics. Sheeps are rich. Sheeps are poor. Sheeps are middle class. Sheeps are in entertainment, government, special interest groups, sports, corporations, social media. You can't miss them. Communities and educational systems. But they start from our families, right? So only your shepherd can lead you to its prey. So we say to the sheep, pray for discernment and closely watch other sheeps, for they can also be shepherds in sheep's clothing, offering you as their sacrifice. And as shepherds, we can lead them to a safe pasture or to their own slaughter. Financial freedom is the beginning to non-dependency and hard learning. And I'm not going to come to you like my life is one of always maturity. But I can say this, that no one on this earth can beat my desire to care about people who care about people. A gentleman and his sons after Yah's own heart. So just a little bit about our virtual services. We've been featured on Black Press, Black News, Black Enterprise, Telemundo, NBC, ABC, and so many more. And yet, why can't, think about this, why can't a solution that works and makes sense comes from one that is of melanin skin, someone that you don't know, someone that's not an entertainer, someone that's not a politician. Remember, every politician is not a problem solver. But we vote them in office to do what? Problem solve. How many problems do we have? How many bickering argument that's going on between two parties while the community is suffering? And we keep voting non-problem solvers into office. Why? Because they have the greatest speech, they're the greatest debater, they can talk a good game. But where's the action? So it's going to come from somebody who's been in the community doing the work that you have not even seen yet. But when you go to these sites and these platforms, you're going to see that we've been doing the work for years, not looking to be in office, only to problem solve. So don't ever stop believing that we can't be the creators that we were born to be, as well as provide answers to an economy where the numbers still are not adding up. So I say to the people that lives within these communities, no more dependency. And some of you may say, how can you say that when the economy is the way that it is? And we're looking for resources and all the businesses are closing down. How can you say no more dependency? We need these resources. Well, what I'm sharing with you is, as a community, once you watch this video, you're going to see as a community how we can create our own resources. Enough to pay our bills, enough to recover without dependency. And the money it is that you are receiving, you can make that money back over and over and over. I know it sounds unbelievable, right? Again, don't ever stop believing that we can't be the creators that we were born to be, as well as provide answers to an economy where the numbers don't add up. Only thing that we're doing is we're taking the time out of our schedule, just like we watch hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos that's not doing us any good. Thousands of hours. It's not doing us any good. So take the time out to watch 1 hour of something that would change your life and the life of your children or your future forever. No more dependency. And if you have any questions, we're here to answer them all. Why? Because we know that numbers don't lie. They can't. They only multiply. Even if you rearrange them, they can't lie. So yes, we have solutions for every family, for every child, for every son, daughter, youth, teenager, young adult, as well as the elderly. I'm going to say this to you with emphasis. No more bills. When you like that, no more bills. And if I share with you that if you share this with your neighbor and you share this with your community, and everyone in your community will be free of bills. What What would you think of the system now? You really wouldn't care, would you? Wouldn't really care if they're bickering and arguing because you're now living your life. Regardless of what's going on around us, you're still making enough resources to where you're okay. Just think about how less stressful it is to know that you're financially secure for the rest of your life. No quick get rich schemes. There's no schemes here. It's truly math. It's truly stocks. It's truly the community owning majority stock versus the large corporations. If you give me pennies on the stock, guess who owns the stock? The corporations. But if I give you dollars on the stock and give me pennies on the stock, guess who owns it? The community. So truly together we can make a difference. It just takes someone to say, I don't need majority ownership. Let's give it to the communities. Let's give it to the people. So if the stock doesn't work, it's not because of the company, it's because the community decided to do what? But why would it do that if you're doing all your bills and you're getting all your bills paid? So that's building an effective brand by inviting all who believes in working as a unit, despite our differences. Meaning you don't have to like me, but we still have to live here, right? Your children still have to live here. So don't let media divide us. Negative media, fake news, don't let it divide us, despite our differences, on which party is better than the next. So despite our differences, we're providing solutions that represent all communities, despite race, creed, color, or sex. A stimulus plan. Some do not want you to hear. Imagine popular social media platforms owned by a community. What better way can we fight those large corporations that monopolizing off of their platforms? What better way can we fight youth and mental illnesses? And there's a new mental illness that's coming out due to the social distances in the schools. What better way for us to fight politics and the programmed minds of us fighting each other for one party over the next? Something is wrong with that. Because that's the only answers it is that we have. So we become adults with mental illnesses and we're bullying from social media. With social media bullying. And the beautiful thing of what we do is you don't have to pay until we find your two lifetime investors. Everybody knows that when it comes to stocks, you have to have those individuals that are invested, right? So we provided the investors for you, which means we do the work for you. And it's transparency. So you're going to know who those investors are. And they're going to know who you are. Have you ever heard of that? So we believe that the solution has been here all the time. Only someone doesn't want us to have that solution. So while we're waiting on a system that is fighting each other, our community, our economy is suffering. And when our community and economy suffers, so are our people. So I'm doing a call out because this is going to share with us whose side you're really on. Are you programmed to be on certain platforms because you're afraid that your followers will not follow you? You've got a certain number of people who say, you know what, I'm comfortable. But if we can offer you more, and we could provide a way to where your supporters or your subscribers can monthly subscribe to you if they have the resources to do that. But it's an option. But we can provide, some of you have 280K, right? So what if 280K decide to support you $1 a month? It'll be okay. Would you switch over then? I'm not a speaker, just a thinker. And my expertise is problem solving. But I can say this to you broadcasters. We are at war. And the enemy is hiding amongst us. And that's in part to keeping the sheep dumbed down. So that's why most of you are saying that we're fighting principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. So as a unit, we must fight those principalities together. And why not start with financial independence to where we're no longer dependent on a system that can't come together and support communities. So, broadcasters, it's on you. Now you can educate while earning without fear of losing your resources. What we say is listen to this video and we'll show you how every step of the way. And if we don't get to you immediately, we will. My community matters. Show us which side that you're on, because your subscribers are now listening and they're paying attention. So while we've been complaining, talking about these platforms and demonetization and not getting yours, now there's a system that you can transition to, a platform that you can transition to and have part ownership in, which means you set your subscription prices. And for those who can't pay, let them watch for free. But for those that can, you never know. You may have 282,000 people that don't mind paying $1. But if that one person who don't have it, don't charge them. But leave it up to the people. And we're going to make sure that those individuals, those subscribers, will have enough resources to where they will be able to support you monthly. And they'll be able to support themselves too. That's what we're saying. So we're providing resources for all. And that's what we've been asking for. Isn't that what we've been asking for? And that's what we're giving you, resources for all. For those who may not have had $5 a month extra to spend, they're going to have more than that. But we're going to need you, the broadcasters, to educate your subscribers on this new transition. But not just the transition, but how they can make the necessary resources to where they can take care of themselves. We invested a lot of years and time in creating these platforms, especially for the communities. And what better way to say thank you for listening Because a lot of broadcasters and live streamers have been complaining. Educators have been complaining. Subscribers have been complaining. And we've been listening. So in the midst of our, they call it closet, been in the closet, we've been preparing and preparing and working and working and working so that we can provide a solution. Right? You ready for this transition? Don't be afraid. Your subscribers will follow you. They will support you. And I think after your first month, you're seeing that because we're going to be sharing with you, again, we're going to be sharing with your subscribers how they'll never have to pay another bill again. In the most easiest, effective way that you've ever heard before. And they're not doing any work. And now they can spend their life doing what it is that they love to do. What it is that they've always wanted to do. The reason why the country and countries are so miserable is because they have to go out there and do things that they don't want to do. Just to survive, just to eat. And I'm just going to keep sharing this message of community responsibility, community accountability, because we have to be accountable, right? It's time to be accountable. And when there was nothing created, we can only go with the status quo. But if someone comes to you and they say to you, we have a solution, and it takes less than 4 minutes for you to fact check. 4 minutes. And everything it is that you're looking for, whether it deals with youth empowerment, youth education, teachers receiving the type of resource it is that they deserve. And they're teaching because they love to teach. And they're teaching what it is that they want to teach. It's communities taking care of communities the way it's supposed to be. Despite how you think about me, despite how you feel about me, despite the complexion of my skin. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? Isn't that the way it's always supposed to have been? So why can't we do that? We can. And there's a system that sets in place that allow us to be able to do that together. Are you in? Are you open? Are you up? Now you can have the additional resources that you need to work on mental illness, to bring in the life coaches. And I always share with individuals, you provide a person with mental deficiency with something it is that they love to do. And they don't have to ever worry about financial issues. They're going to have a freedom of expression that you've yet seen before. And now we can treat the deficiency effectively. But I can't and we can't if I have to continue to go down that same system each and every day. Just imagine a person who have sanity. And for 30 plus years, 20 plus years, 15 plus years, you're doing the same thing in and out, day in out, day in out, that you don't want to do. Just imagine how much stress that's going to cause on you each and every day. Trying to figure out where your next dollar is going to come, knowing that you have to do this in order to make that money. How many of us, our lives would be completely different if we knew that our bills would be taken care of each and every month? My community matters. And when you look at this video, I want you to ask as many questions as you have. Remember, We're not afraid of questions. We've already did the math. And anytime that you have a company that's telling you, we're not taking anything from you, we're not taking no resources from you until we found your investors off of your virtual stock. We're creating a virtual stock for every community member. So it doesn't matter whether you have $20, $60, $100, $1,000, $10,000. It doesn't matter. You're going to get a return that you're going to be happy with each and every month, with the guaranteed 2 investors that we found for your virtual stock. We call it Starducks. Instead of products, instead of stocks, it's in between, Starducks. And you're going to be happy with your monthly commission. Or shall I say the residual that a McDonald's make, the residual that popular platforms make. They're rich off of residuals. They know how much money is going to be coming in each and every month. So, no more excuses. Tell me this will not eliminate crime. Now, if a person decides to still just do crime, then we just need to lock them up and throw away the key. Because if you're making enough resources to where you don't have to steal from anyone and you're doing it, something is wrong with you. And you're out there just doing crime just to be doing crime, something is wrong with you. You don't need to be around people. You're going to need that many police officers, right? If you got a lot of people making the type of money that they need, you don't need a lot of police officers. You have a lot of police officers doing what? Making their own resources. And they're going to be happy. The people are going to be happy. The community is going to be happy. A lack of finances creates crime. So, it's going to take a community. It's going to take a united effort. It's going to take you to share this with every living soul that exists. And not just in this country, around the world. Now people are not having to be forced to play sports. They're making the type of money it is to take care of their family. Now we can step up. Now self-accountability will not be as difficult. Why? Because we're making the resources that we need. And a person said, well, it's not about resources. No, it's not about resources, but it starts there. Now we have classes. Like you go to the website, you're going to see classes that we offer. And the classes are not just for youth, it's for the adults. Family, relationships, life coaching. Again, I'm a life coach. And sometimes we just need to be heard and understood. So now that you have the resources, now you have someone who understands finances, right? And they're sharing with you how to spend your dollars. But if you're making, I'm not even going to go there, you have to see it yourself. You have to worry about your business closing down because you have enough resources to pay for it, whether somebody is working there or not. And you can decide whether you want that business or not to continue. But you'll still be able to pay your monthly bills while this COVID is happening. So first, guys, now that we have a solution, let's create our own system. And that system, again, is taking care of communities. Let's stop bickering and arguing about two parties that all of us can agree something wrong with. I hear a lot of people saying the lesser of two evils, but yet we're still what? Bickering, arguing about the lesser of two evils. But if you create a system that works for everyone, if you create a system that makes sure that your family future, and some may say, man, maybe too late for this. Well, I say this. Until the fat lady sings, we have to do something. Because the system that's fighting and arguing and bickering, they're not doing anything except for arguing and fighting and bickering, while our lives are being affected and infected in part to the infection. So we have to do something. And it starts with us. My Community Matter. BG. BG, the life coach. Talk to you later.